some of the information that you can add there would be your program or your current program, since you don't have a course yet, your school, your years attended or expected year. So if you haven't graduated yet, you can put in your year of graduation. So for example, if you are to graduate next year, you can put to 2022, right? If applicable, if you have electives or awards received, you can add that there as well. For the electives, just make sure that it's something that's not typical to your course, right? Because you don't want to add electives that is expected already for someone in your program. But if you took extra sort of programs that it's not typical for your not typical for your track or strand, then you can add that. And then if it's high, you can add your average there. So this is what it can look like. So for this first person, you can see that we've added like the electives taken that are typically not for someone who is taking accountancy, right? So like business economics and introduction to entrepreneurship. And then we added this person's grade point average because it's high. But in the second example, you can see that we didn't add those things because they weren't necessary anymore, and they didn't take any electives beyond what's in their course, right? So they just put the program, the name of the school, and then the years expected. So as you can see, those are the details that are necessary when you're adding your education. Next, let's talk about the skills. So skills are what you can do and with which tools. That's what I want you to focus on. There's actually three types of skills. Three types of skills according to Sydney Fine. So there are functional or transferable skills. So this is what you can do. And these are verbs, right? So these are verbs. There's special knowledge, which is the answer to what do you know? And these are nouns. And there's a third type of skill, which is called traits. So this is how you conduct yourself. So these are usually adjectives or adverbs that you would use to describe yourself, right? So typically when I see a skill section, I see a combination of all of these three different types of skills. So I would see traits, I would see their knowledge and transferable skills. But really what I'm looking for as a recruiter is this. Number one, I'm looking for functional skills. That's what I really want you to focus on, what you can do. So instead of writing down a skill section where it's like a combination of knowledge, of tools, and then some adjectives or adverbs that you would use to describe yourself, I would want you to be focused more on your functional skills. So you can do it like this, right? So for the first one, you'd notice that we were focusing on what they can do or what they know with which tools. For the second example, you'd notice that we started them all with verbs, like with what you can do first before we talked about which tools. So instead of just saying Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets, we talk about what can you do with Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets, which is you can conduct simple data analysis and you can do some financial modeling using those tools. Or instead of just saying Canva, Microsoft PowerPoint, Google Slides, you can say creating presentations using these tools. So those are some of the some tips that I can give you. Like as much as possible, try to focus on what you can do with which tools, because that's really what I'm looking for when I'm looking at a skill section instead of something like this. So if you can compare like which skill section really gives me a better idea of what this person can do. Is it this one or this one, right? At least this gets me to clearly picture what this person can do and can contribute into the job. Let's talk about your awards, certifications, and seminars attended. So my tip here is only add them if they are relevant to the job you're applying for. Again, why are we making a resume? So that we can show that we're a good fit for the job. So we don't want to distract them with too much information that's not necessarily related to the job. So only pick the ones that are relevant or significant. So when you're adding awards, what you should put is the name of the award first, then the name of the award-giving body or organization, the date it was awarded to you, and if necessary, the context of the award. So here's an example. So if you got third place in a business case competition awarded by XYZ company, that's the order that you would place it. And then the second one, you'd see, Philippines awardee, Malala Award, and then it needs more context because let's say this is not a popular award, and the name of the award itself doesn't give a lot of context into what it is that you did. Then you can add a description, which is, okay, this is only awarded to only one exceptional leader per developing country, and you won against 800 plus nominees. And then now with that context of why you received that award, it now sounds more significant, right? Versus just saying that, I got this award. Because recruiters are so busy with when they're screening their resumes, they take all the information that you give them at face value, and that's that. They're not gonna do the additional research just yet to really check, okay, what does it mean when you're awarded this award, right? So you want to kind of spoon feed that if they need extra context to the award. The same with certifications, right? So for certifications, you start with the name of the certification, the certificate giving body, the date you receive the certificate, and if necessary, the context again. So here's another example, right? So instead of just saying back-end development bootcamp, and then that's it, you can add what you learned from that certification, which is to program in C#, Python, PHP, or Java, that sort of thing. So for some certifications, this can be very straightforward. Like for example, the first one, you can see beginner MySQL. So that's pretty straightforward. That's the skill that you learn. But if you join, like, let's say a boot camp where they taught you a lot of different things, you might want to specify that because these are keywords that the recruiter or the hiring manager will be looking for when they are looking at your resume. So that's an example of what like your certifications can look like. Again, keeping it to what's relevant only to the job that you're applying for. So in this case, because this person is applying to be a developer, then they had to specify these certifications. Next, seminars. So I know that some of you might be really active and attended a lot of seminars. The thing is, not all of them are necessarily relevant to the job that you're applying for. So again, pick the ones that are most relevant. The way you can list them down is you can just say relevant seminars attended, and then you can put the name of the event organizer, the dates you attended, and then if necessary, the context of the event. So here you can see, instead of just saying seminars attended, we put relevant seminars attended, and then here are the ones. This person is applying to be an accountant or a finance officer. So this person only picked the ones that are relevant to the function that they're applying for, right? So like anything with junior accountants, like financial modeling, because it was related to a skill, or just some general knowledge, or it was organized by a famous audit firm, then it was necessary to add it to the resume. Attending a workshop like this, for example, may not be relevant to the job you're applying for, so you don't have to add this specific workshop to the resume, all right?